I'm Leslie Ross. I'm 53 years old, and I suffered a stroke just a little over a year ago. The stroke resulted in my being paralyzed on my left side, significant paralysis in my left arm, less paralysis in my left leg. I really never did picture myself as being disabled, and I think most people don't, but I certainly was aware of people with disabilities. As a small business owner, we hired persons that had disabilities. We had one employee who was hearing impaired and some others who had some mobility problems. But it's one thing to be aware of people and be sensitive to them. It's a whole different issue, though, to be disabled yourself. Well, initially, when I was told that I had a stroke, frankly, I don't think it really registered with me what that meant or the severity. I was a very rapid typist. I was on the machine a lot, but still, due to the damage of the stroke, I was not able to read, and I really wasn't able to use my computer probably for the first 2 to 3 months after I had the stroke. And as a person who has only just recently become disabled, that frankly is very frustrating. After having the heart attack and the stroke, I had to basically figure out a whole new way to live. And it's taken me a year now, and I'm starting to get into a behavior pattern that I think is going to work for me, but it's difficult. Begin new document. Well, I think technology increasingly plays a very significant role in evening the playing field. I also use a speech recognition package that allows me to dictate into the machine, and it transfers my speech to text. I am still waiting for more information from some of the cousins, period. I do a lot of email. I keep in touch with business associates, friends, family. It's a very effective tool to do that. I just view the computer as a way of enriching me and allowing me to do, frankly, allowing me to do most of the same things that I was doing prior to my disability.
Do we need a couple more minutes?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's go around that way since I just...
Okay. I'm going to have the tono contaglioni al limone.
The Flying Karamazov Brothers invited me and a few people to lunch, and it was great fun because none of us knew each other, and we all had completely different disabilities and different life situations. That's me ordering the soup. I'm Greg Smith, host of On a Roll Radio. I got a chance to meet Terry Lean, an actor who is deaf, and that's Alex Valdez, a comedian who is blind, and his dog Roca.
Sounds fabulous.
I think part of the discomfort that the temporarily able sometimes feel with people with disabilities is they don't like to be reminded of how temporary their own ability is.
That's true.
Part of
that's
it.
true.
But it's it's hard to know just what the appropriate questions to ask are. Is it appropriate to I should one say nothing about your disability, or is how do your hand what do you say?
You know what I think, and this is what I tell people when I go out and do training about etiquette, and I have a workshop on etiquette training and a handbook and everything that I give to them. And I say, you know what? I said, you're going to read through this handbook, and I'm going to give you some ideas of this and that. And I'm going to talk to you today about sighted guide, how to walk with a blind person, how not to interact with the guide dog when it's in harness, this and that. I said, but the bottom line is never assume, always ask. That's the bottom line.
I think even the disabled people aren't always, 100% comfortable with other people with different disabled people. Yeah. And for example, I sometimes admit to feeling awkward around people who are blind because they can't see me, I can't talk to them straight. So I feel like I need to make I feel like I want to make a contact with them, but I feel I'm not making a direct contact because my voice is coming out of an interpreter and she's someplace else, you know. And I really want to have some kind of personal contact that lets that blind person know exactly who I am and what I am like.
Everybody's different. I mean, there's no training that anybody can give you that can tell you unequivocally this is what you do with certain disabilities, because everybody's different. So assume that the disabled person is the expert on their body and their wheelchair. I mean, that's not too hard to imagine. But then if you're in a social situation and you want to know what my disability is, you know, I tell you, you know, once you ask me, but understand that I'm a person, and that if I feel like giving you a straight answer, I will. If I feel like giving you some BS, I might do that too.
Yeah.
Just as you would, like, you know, you. Well, people might ask you, you know, what's the deal with this Flying Karamazov?
Are you guys really brothers?
Yeah,
we get asked that a lot.
Sometimes you want to.
Sure, I asked you guys that this morning. I said, yeah, you guys really brothers?
Sometimes people work hard to learn an art or a skill, only to find that when an ability is impaired, they are no longer able to perform as well as they once did.
Or in this case, as badly as they once did.
A physical disability doesn't need to stand in the way of a person's ability to learn.
By emphasizing another form of sensory input than the one impaired,
for instance, adding clear visual cues to compensate for the absence of sound,
a student with a disability can keep up and indeed excel.
Though not necessarily.
What?
Let's meet some people who are using computers to gain access to educational benefits.